Everyone to Elevate Thursday. Welcome to Elevate Thursdays. Today, talking about overcoming imposter syndrome. So I'm sure all of you know what imposter syndrome is, but I just wanted to quickly go over, if you don't already know what imposter syndrome is, and I want to give you in particular today one strategy, like one way that you can start not even overcoming it, because I don't believe it's something you overcome. It's something that you step away from being. Okay. So we're going to be very impeccable with how we use. It's not rather overcoming, it's stepping away from feeling like you are an imposter. Okay, so today we're going to chat about what imposter syndrome is. I'm sure you already know, but let's make sure we're on the same page. Then we're going to chat about a particular strategy that I know works really bloody well for myself and for my clients. So firstly, let's dive into what imposter syndrome is. It's that feeling of like, I don't belong here. Whatever I have achieved in my life, whatever I have come through in my business, I am not meant to be here, right? There has been a mistake. Someone has accidentally made me an expert in what I do, and someone is going to find out. Yeah. Someone is going to find out that I am not meant to be here. What I have created through my business is like, it's a total scam. It's a fake, right? It's that feeling. It's like, oh my goodness, I am not meant to be here. I don't know how I know how I ended up here, right? I decided that this is what I wanted. And now suddenly, now that I've got all this attention upon me, now that I have clients coming in, they're going to find out that in fact, I'm not the expert that I claim. Yeah. It's along those lines. So feeling like you don't belong where you have wanted to become, like create, right? Now, how this affects you is really about your ability to show up and stand in your power and your expertise, because each and every one of you is powerful. Each and every one of you is an expert at what it is that you do. And sometimes we get a little bit scared about really claiming that and putting it out there on social media, on all of our platforms, and going, hey, I'm the one that you should talk to about XYZ. Okay. And I find that the amount of imposter syndrome that you feel really relates to how big an audience or how big it is that you want to go. Okay. And the ability for you to have done what we're going to talk about, the strategy, which I'm going to talk about later in the rest of this live, yeah, it depends upon how big you're going to go and how much of the strategy you have done in the past and currently. Okay. Aloha for those watching live on Facebook. Hi to those watching on Instagram. Hashtag replay if you're catching the replay, and say hi to me. I love lots of interaction, so I'd love to hear what drops in for you. And if you have any questions, let me know. I'll either answer them live or at the other end of the live. Okay. Aloha, Edna. Beautiful. I'm so glad that you're here. Hi, Tara. Beautiful for you to be here. So for those of you who are watching the replay or the live, have you ever experienced this imposter syndrome where you're like, I am not meant to be here. Someone made a huge mistake, right? And with it comes that like fear, like you're going to be found out. Yeah. Someone is going to point the finger at you and go, Nick, I don't know why you are here. Like everyone else is meant to be in this room of experts, but you are not meant to be here. I know your secrets, right? And there's like a little bit of shame, a little bit of like wanting to hide. Yeah. And this is all relevant to how the strategy that I want to talk to in particular about this imposter syndrome. So let me know if you have experienced this before. Just pop in yes, imposter syndrome into the comments. Let me know if I am not alone. Okay. So this imposter syndrome, it really stops you from moving forward at a pace that you desire, right? So remember that we're talking about soul-led business. We're talking about spirit leading our business, and spirit knows that you can create whatever it is that you want in whatever time frame that you believe. Now, one of the big things that stop us from this is this feeling like I'm not meant to be here. Yeah, I am not the expert that I have claims, like spirit claims for me that I am this expert. My ego So, of course, this is coming from your ego. My ego is saying, no, 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 no. This is not safe for you to be here. Yeah. You are going to get found out. And when you get found out, so many bad things will happen to you, right? Yes, imposter syndrome. So the way out of this, I have told you what happens in terms of mindset thing, right? So on a mindset level, there is the ego involved. The ego is afraid of being found out. If you are found out, there's the idea of having some kind of shame or guilt, or like people pointing the finger at you and going, this is not your place. Yeah. And so the way out of this is not really a thought process. Okay. So if we want to change something, we have to approach it in a different way. Now, there is parts of this not even overcoming, as I said, it's not really overcoming imposter syndrome. It is stepping away from feeling like an imposter, right? Feeling like an imposter is in the egoic realm. This is not who you truly are. Who you truly are is spirit, who is limitless. Yeah. Doesn't even have this concept of being an imposter or not good enough, right? So there is part of a mindset thing there about self-worth, feeling like you are inherently valuable no matter what you bring to the table. So there is a little part of that. However, to really move and step away from operating within this mindset of I am an imposter, what am I doing here? To really move from there, you need to not use your mind anymore. That sounds weird, doesn't it? What I'm trying to say is that it's not a thought process to get you out of here, right? Your mindset work in terms of like reclaiming your value, reclaiming your power, that is part of the process, but will only take you so far. What I am particularly interested in is the next step that actually allows you to show up for your business, because you can do all the mindset in the work in the world, but if you are not actively taking that further, i.e. showing up on social media or whatever marketing platform that you use and claiming what it is that you are amazing at, yeah, if you're not taking your mindset that one step further, i.e. into action, then all the work that you do in the head is just going to remain that way, right? It's just going to remain in the head fodder. And so the way out of moving out of and feeling like an imposter and into who you truly are, which is a limitless, invaluable spirit, self, essence, is an active process. Yeah. What is dropping in for you as I am chatting about this? Okay, let me know in the comments. Hi to those who are catching me live on Instagram, live on Facebook. And if you're catching the replay, #replay, let me know what is dropping in. So the way to move from feeling like an imposter to dropping into who you truly are, which is invaluable, yeah, which is not feeling shame or guilt about who it is that you are, is not a thought process. You have to take your mindset work one step further and make it an action, right? And this is the strategy that I am particularly interested in, because this is the strategy that I don't see many people do, right? So what I mean, let's dive into what I mean by this strategy in particular. Okay, so as I said, the way to move, we're not talking really about overcoming imposter syndrome, right? Because that feels like we're really putting a lot of work in. We're like taking a sidestep, right? We are moving from imposter syndrome, which is egoic realm, yeah, operating from the ego, to stepping into our true self, who knows that you are invaluable, that what you have to offer is invaluable, that whatever experiences that you have is valuable. Yeah. So the way to do that sidestep has to be action-based. And this is how you do it. Okay. So This is really simple. Okay. Be transparent. Be transparent with where it is that you are at with your work. Okay. So share and acknowledge it. Well, firstly, it should be acknowledge where it is that you truly are at. Okay. In terms of your expertise, in terms of what it is that you can comfortably offer, in terms of what it is that you are experiencing right now in your life right now, right? You need to acknowledge that to yourself. And then the next step, which is the part that I see most people fail upon, is the sharing of your current experience. Now, why do people not want to do this? Because they don't want to look stupid. That's actually what it comes down to, right? People do not want to look stupid. People do not want to look like they don't have their shit together. People do not want to look like they can't even do the work that they claim that they do for their clients, right? But this is a really easy as in doing, hard as in actually doing it, because all of your emotions, all of your ego gets on board, right? But this is a really easy, simple way to sidestep feeling like an imposter. If you can completely acknowledge where it is that you are at, what it is that you have experienced, how much you actually take on your own body of work, i.e., how much you embody your own body of work in your life. If you can acknowledge that and then comfortably share the fact that you are not bloody perfect, you're a human being. Oh, this takes away the pressure of you having to be perfect and have all of your shit together. Are you getting what I'm putting down? Yeah, drop me a yes or an aha in the comment box. Now, let me catch up on these comments. Yes, dropping into who I truly am and actioning that rather than thinking my way out makes so much sense. Yes, Tara. Noticing as much the stories I make about what I do put on socials is louder than the imposter mask. Awesome. It's about claiming my value. Yes, it's dropping in. Yes. Awesome. So let me know who is joining me. I'm sorry, some of you, I'm only seeing Facebook users. So pop your name in at the end, then I can actually just acknowledge you in person that you are here. Tara is the only one I can see name, right? 100% relevant to you right now. I don't know who that is, but thank you for commenting. So it needs to be, you need to be transparent where you are at. Yeah, this is the easiest / hardest thing for you to do, especially if you're, well, not especially, because all of you here are businesses that have social media presence. Yeah. Now, this is like the one step further, right? Once we have acknowledged it within ourselves, we have to go and share that. It takes the pressure off of you thinking that you have to be perfect. Now, I want to give you a real life example, right? I did this on my personal page of late, like this week, right? I acknowledge that I do soul-led business, right? This is my jam. I'm like, I take my clients through listening to their soul, creating soulful businesses, i.e., businesses that are limitless. Yeah. Businesses that light them up, businesses that are unique. And I admitted on my personal page that I don't sometimes have that connection. As much as I teach that connection, sometimes my humanness comes to the fore and I'm like confused and I need someone else's help to help me in what I help others do. Okay. Now, when I shared that, there was definitely a part of it which was like, I feel ashamed because I really should have this together. Like, if I teach this, I really should have nailed this by now. Now, I could have followed that train and gone, okay, I'm not going to share it. I'm just going to hide. I'm going to hide and not be transparent. And I'm going to keep up this persona of being absolutely perfect and absolutely amazing at what I do, i.e., being Superwoman, right? I could have done that. However, this is the lesson that I want to bring to the table to you, is that it is so much easier to not feel like an imposter in your own work when you share your current situation, your current experience, especially with your own work. Yeah. So if you're interested, go over to my personal page, read what I put down there. And what I put down there is that, I should know this. I'm a solid business business coach. I should know what my next steps are. I should be able to claim into soul and go, tell me where to go. But sometimes I'm a human. Sometimes my ego gets in the way. Sometimes I have fears and shadows that come up, which is why we all need coaches, because we get in our own way. Even having said that, it's like, how many people do I see actually actively acknowledge that they are part of a coaching program? Not many. Yeah. It's again part of that like shame that you need help to be able to do the thing that you're doing. Yeah. So let me have a look at these comments. What is coming up? Kelly, beautiful, lovely. I am so glad you are here. Welcome, welcome. Yes, Edina. I will have a replay available. So yes, you can just catch that when we have finished up, whoever that may be. Okay. So what else is coming in for you? Are you being completely transparent with your current experience, especially in what it is that you do? Yeah. Because when you can be transparent with your current experience in the area of expertise that you are teaching in, it takes away any of the pressure of you to have to be perfect, and you sidestep from feeling like an imposter, i.e., operating within your ego, to leading with spirit. Yeah. Spirit doesn't feel shame, because spirit knows that wherever you are at, you are valuable. You have something beautiful to share. Spirit knows that you are limitless. Spirit knows that there is no one who is perfect in their humanness, but you are perfect as you are. That is what spirit knows. Yeah. That is what your soul knows at its core. And so when we do this practice of being transparent, i.e., sharing and acknowledging our current experiences associated with the business that we do, when we stop hiding and trying to put out to the world a perfect persona because we want to remain as the expert, or we want to remain as the person who everyone sees as having it all together, because we think that this will help us claim our expertise. Or on the flip side, if we do share it, we feel like that might hurt our reputation. When we stop doing that and we just share, and as I keep saying, it has to be relevant to what it is that you do in your business. When we just share where we are and what we experience, we sidestep the imposter syndrome part. And we really step into leading from soul and spirit. Is this making sense to you? Hashtag replay makes sense, or comment makes sense, so that I know where you are at. And I'll give you a moment to do that. Any questions that you have? Any questions? Let me know. Let me give you a moment to see where that is at. And a big welcome to those on Instagram joining me. A big welcome to those on Facebook. And for those of you watching the replay, thank you for coming in on the replay. I love it. Now, do know that when you have when you watch the replay, you can drop questions, because I do come back later in the day and I check up as to what you have put in. Okay. Yay, it is making sense. Right. So how I would go about doing this with a client, and this is a process that you can take yourself through, right, is To see where you are at in the stage of sidestepping your imposter syndrome is, firstly, are you feeling it? Yeah. Okay. Are you feeling imposter syndrome? Have you worked? The second step is, have you worked on some of the mindset stuff that we covered right at the start, right? And if that's a tick, it's okay. The next step is, have I acknowledged my current experience? Yeah. Have I acknowledged it to myself that I am not perfect? Yeah, that maybe I don't have it all together. Have I acknowledged that? And do I accept it, i.e., self acceptance? Yeah. And then once you've done that, can I share it? Have I shared it? That is the next step. Remember, this process, 3 steps here, allow you to take a sidestep from acting within imposter syndrome, i.e., from your ego, into acting from soul space. So those would be the 3 stages. I would ask what stage I am at in this imposter syndrome equation, and be working my way up into the last pit, yeah, which is sharing. Now, for those of you who love home play, yeah, let's wrap this up. We're wrapping up today's Elevate Thursday on not even overcoming. I shouldn't have put overcoming imposter syndrome, because it's not overcoming. Sidestepping imposter syndrome, moving away from imposter syndrome. Yeah, moving into the essence of who you truly are, which is not an imposter. Yeah. We're wrapping this one up this week. And I always, at the end of Elevate Thursdays, give you some home play to go and explore for the rest of the week. Now, I know if you just took these questions every single week, I come on here nearly every single week, right? There's only a few exceptions where I miss. Nearly every single week, I come in with something else that can help you elevate your mindset and energy so that you are operating from soul. If you were to take one of these home play questions and play with them all week, your self development and your spiritual development would jump up eons, which would help you to create the kind of business that you truly, truly desire. Okay, so for those of you who are interested in home play, these are the 2 questions that I have for you. The first one is, where am I not being transparent with myself and others, and then experiencing imposter syndrome? Yeah. Where am I not being transparent with myself and others, and then experiencing imposter syndrome? So this is about becoming aware, right? You may have noticed, for those of you who have been on Elevate Thursdays always, there is a component of awareness, and then there's a component of action. Okay, every single time, right? So this first question, where am I not being transparent with myself and others, and then experiencing imposter syndrome, is about bringing your awareness back in. Yeah. Becoming aware of where you are hiding aspects of yourself, and therefore feeling shame or guilt. Yeah. And not being able to be true as to what it is that you're experiencing, and then possibly feeling imposter syndrome with your work. Yeah. The second question is, then after you have noticed where you are not being transparent and therefore feeling imposter syndrome, how can I be more transparent and remain the go-to expert at what I do? Oh, that's a good one, isn't it? How can I be more transparent and remain the go-to expert at what I do? Because if you remember just earlier in this live, I said most people don't want to share where they are at, i.e., the lack of their embodiment of what it is that they teach. They don't want to share that part because they're scared that it will hurt their reputation or hurt their perceived level of expertise. Okay, so most people will hide. They will hide, and they'll just keep up the persona that they're absolutely perfect and they've got that shit sorted. Yeah. Which then just feeds more of the hiding, more of the shame, more of the guilt, and more of the feeling of the imposter syndrome. Are you getting it? Yeah. So the question for you to explore, now I know a strategy of how to do this, but I would love for you to find this answer for yourself, because it's really simple. How can I be more transparent with my current experience, and still remain the go-to expert at what I do? How would I share that? Yeah. All right, lovelies. I am going to, if there's no more questions, I'll give you a moment to drop any questions if you have anything right now. Otherwise, we will wrap up today's Elevate Thursday about sidestepping out of imposter syndrome. And please know that I always come back and I look at your comments and questions if you're watching the replay. So please feel free to drop them in. I would love to know what your biggest, let me know what your biggest takeaway was from today's Elevate Thursday. What are you going to do with this information that I have just dropped for you today? How will that change your experience so that you can sidestep out of imposter syndrome and really step into the power and the influence that you have as an expert in your chosen field of soul-led business? Let me know. All right, lovelies. Thank you for joining me, Tara, Erina, and Kelly. And for those of you who are watching the replay on Instagram and Facebook, thank you very much. I will come back and see your comments. Otherwise, I hope that you have a beautiful day. Again, Elevate Thursday is every single Thursday, pretty much every single Thursday, 11 o'clock New Zealand time. I bring to you a whole new topic to do with mindset or energy that can help you to elevate yourself and your business so that you can create the kind of life and business of your dreams. All right, lots of love for now. Take care.